Musicbed takes on its own character. It's something that you have to control, mold it, nurture it, bring it to life.
So I wanted to talk about how this intro has music and sound effects from multiple royalty-free sites. A lot of times we're completely at the mercy of these music producers that decide to wake up and make music and put on a royalty-free site. And there's so many of these sites out there. I'm gonna go over each of them and give my honest and unsponsored opinion. Up first is Soundstripe, the cheapest one that has some great options. And all of them are gonna have this split where it's gonna be like your personal YouTube where you're not making videos for clients, or you are making videos for clients. And that's kind of how they split up. Pretty much all of them do that. It's the holiday season now, so there's gonna be a lot of this kind of stuff. It's like a Target commercial. I'm sure you guys do the same thing. When I'm looking for songs, I try to be like as efficient as possible. So I don't just sit here and listen to the whole song. I look at the waveforms and I see like, all right, what are the drops like? You know, if there's a point like this, what does that sound like when it kicks in? Epidemic sound is gonna have a lot more options as far as like beats and trendier sounding stuff, but they're a little bit more strict with the licensing, so you gotta submit your URL of your video to make sure that it doesn't get flagged. And they have a lot of this kind of stuff. So I personally don't use a lot of this stuff with the lyrics, but you might. So this is the section I'm talking about that they have a lot of, it's called beats. And this is what is kind of unique about Epidemic Sound. $9 a month or $20 a month, same thing, personal versus commercial. Soundstripe has music and sound effects. Epidemic Sound just has music. Artlist has music and sound effects, and they're 16 bucks a month. And Artlist has a lot of the epic stuff, cinematic stuff. Like this is what I'll use a lot of this kind of stuff. The song that you heard in the beginning was from Artlist. See, they also have this kind of stuff too. That's what I mean, like they all have a little bit of everything, but they each have something that they're a little better at. And I feel like Artlist has more of this cinematic kind of stuff, more options for it. But as far as the cinematic whooshes and hits and those kind of sound effects, Lens Distortions is the best for sure. So the way they do their pricing, they'll let you do monthly, so you could do $30 a month, and that's all access. That includes their VFX, which is like lens flares and on-screen effects and that kind of thing. But just for the music and sound effects, 20 bucks a month or 200 bucks a year. And this is because they have like a holiday sale going on right now. So let's look at some of their stuff. I think Lens Distortions for me is a must because they have such unique stuff and they put a lot of effort. It's definitely a quality over quantity kind of thing, and their stuff is like just very curated. You don't have to dig through 5 million tracks to find something good, you know, and I like that. I like that it's a little bit more curated. And they have this like corporate vibe, but it's like not a corny corporate vibe, you know. And that's the key when you're making corporate stuff, is you gotta make it cool, you know? Like you can't make it just like, oh, whatever, some old person's gonna like this video because they don't care. It's like, no, you have to make it to where like even you think it's cool, and then that's what will make other people think it's cool. And then they have like this real estate video kind of stuff. They just put a lot of work into their songs, and I like that. But then they also have these sound design tracks where it has like sound effects throughout it. And that's what takes us to the sound effects section, which is this. So all the sound effects at the beginning of that video I showed you is from here. And you just take the parts of it that you like and you constant gain the beginning and the end, and you build around it. And they have like the specific ones, specific whooshes and things. And then there's Musicbed, which is the most expensive option, but also like the most curated. I think they have a lot of super high quality songs on Musicbed. And let's see, so we are an individual, freelance filmmaker, all right, and paying full is $13.74 a year or $125 a month. So as opposed to like $30 a month, this is like $125 a month. Individual, YouTube, no. So again, this is like, don't lie about this. And then they charge you based on your subscribers, which makes sense, so you're small. So you could do $30 a month, $329 a year, up to like, what was that, 250,000 subscribers? So perfect for commercial work. Okay, let's listen. It's good variety, like this one's a little more emotional, something happening, family visiting, going somewhere, right? And then they have a lot of this lyrical stuff, which I think people use. I don't necessarily use it, but I think people use it. Musicbed tries to be more like a Spotify, where it's like actual songs that you might hear. Like it's like they try to be like at that quality, but it's royalty free. Musicbed definitely has a really good variety, but they don't have sound effects, just music. I would say if you had to have one of these, it would be Artlist, because they have the sound effects and they have the music. For me personally, because of the type of videos that I do that have these like sound effects and the whooshes and stuff, I have to have lens distortions. They're all good, and you can really get by with having any one of them depending on the kind of videos that you're doing. But that's just my honest, unsponsored opinion of the royalty-free music websites.